Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well today. I wanted to take a moment to announce a very special project that has recently been finished. A book I've been working on for probably about 6 to 9 months now, called The Essence of Complete Kriya Yoga Practice, in the words of a Kriya Yoga guru. This is just a small work that essentially is a compilation of 2 interviews that I had done with my Kriya Yoga teacher, Eugene Davis, as well as a talk that Mr. Davis gave during one of our in-person Kriya Yoga retreats for the Kriya Yoga Apprenticeship Program at Center for Spiritual Awareness. The talks I personally would review often. I have these recorded. They're also available on this channel so you can watch them. But when I would spend some time exercising out in nature, I'd bring my phone and I'd put my earphones in and I'd listen to these talks repeatedly. And the more I listened to them, the more I realized that what Mr. Davis covered within these talks, and they are titled Conversation with a Direct Student of Paramahansa Yogananda, The Essence of Complete Kriya Yoga Practice, and How to Learn and Practice Kriya Yoga, that they contained the essence of what Mr. Davis always taught when I would meet with him in person at the chalet at Center for Spiritual Awareness, or when I would attend retreats, Kriya Yoga retreats at Center for Spiritual Awareness. There was always this constant theme, this constant thread, this constant message that never seemed to change. So the more I listened to these talks, the more I thought, this really holds the essence of what I remember Mr. Davis sharing about what it means to practice Kriya Yoga. Now, this book does not go into the specific Kriya Yoga techniques that you learn during initiation. Those are also available on this YouTube channel, as well as detailed descriptions in the book Kriya Yoga Vichara that I had written a few years ago. There are preliminary meditation practices, basic mantra meditation, inner and light sound contemplation, chanting through the chakras, which I put at the end of this book for those who are first getting involved in Kriya Yoga so that they can start practicing useful and effective techniques. But the theme of this book is really what it's like, what qualities are required to live life as a Kriya yogi, what kind of mindset is required, how to approach life. And Mr. Davis shares personal stories about his life, experiences with Yogananda. So it's just a small book, but it's a book, I think, which is very necessary and useful. So if you're interested in this book, you can find it on Amazon, a print copy. You can also download it as a Kindle book. But I just wanted to take a moment to let you know that this now exists, because these talks, these words that Mr. Davis shared have been extremely important to me, well, since I've known him. It's just that within these interviews, he distilled it to something very simple and short. And on the cover of the book, this is a picture of me and Mr. Davis, and this is where we would always sit and talk in his chalet. So this was this brings back a lot of memories for me, because, you know, spent 18 years learning with Mr. Davis, and I can remember many times visiting with him as he sat in that same chair and I sat in the couch, drinking tea, just simply talking, spending time together early in the morning. So I share this book with you, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you appreciate it. I hope it becomes a little book of inspiration for you on the Kriya Yoga path. And I'll read the back of the book. In this little book on Kriya Yoga philosophy, the reader is introduced to a realm of knowledge like no other. It is a precious source of guidance and inspiration. This book contains the transcription of 2 interviews and 1 talk with Roy Eugene Davis, a direct student of Paramahansa Yogananda. Mr. Davis was initiated by and ordained to teach Kriya Yoga by Paramahansa Yogananda, which he did tirelessly and faithfully for nearly 70 years. In these transcripts, Mr. Davis shares the essence of what it means to practice Kriya Yoga, beyond the techniques. Mr. Davis, one of the clearest modern Kriya gurus of our time, explains the authentic philosophy and way of life required to experience self-realization. Discussions include the essence of complete Kriya Yoga practice, overcoming obstacles to self-realization, guidelines for Kriya Yoga practice, how to cooperate with universal mind, what is the ultimate reality of self-realization, and how to learn and practice Kriya Yoga. So that is what you'll find in this book. And as I've mentioned, these talks are available online, where you can actually see and hear Mr. Davis speaking on this channel, the Kriya Yoga online YouTube channel, as well as the Kriya Yoga podcast. But Mr. Davis was always he loved the written word, having books. And I understand that, because if you've got a book, you're not zoning out in electronics land, you're away from your devices a little bit, you can sit in a chair in the sunlight peacefully, and that was my goal for writing this. Even though the information is already available, you can find it on the podcast, on this YouTube channel. Just having this around, I feel that it's in the spirit of Mr. Davis, because I can remember talking to him one time and asking why he hadn't digitized more of the work that he put out. It's getting there now, but he said, well, there's nothing like having a book in your hand. The energy of the book, having it within your space, it's very useful. So partially, this is the reason I decided to create this book. So maybe it'll be a nice addition to your library, or something nice to keep by your meditation area, or somewhere where you can read quietly and internalize and think about and contemplate what is said here without the distractions of electronics. So let me know what you think, and I hope you have a wonderful day or evening, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you.